I work in the arts, and I think that it's really important to mention before I get into my main topic that the arts are critical in this discussion, not only because Serbia has produced some major female artists such as Nadezhda Petrovic and Maga Magazinovic, and also Desanka Maksimovic, as well as a contemporary woman artist you may know, Tanja Ostojic, but also because there is a large new generation of emerging Serbian women artists who, if we don't get behind them, and if we don't include them in this circle, will be forced to move, work, and prosper in another country. So, getting into my topic for today, excuse my rustling papers, I would like to discuss with you the new meaning of now. And now I need glasses because I've passed that point. All right. In 1966, during the rise of the civil rights movement in America, the National Organization for Women was founded. Its acronym was NOW, NOW. In that year, its statement of purpose, written by Betty Friedan, the first president of the National Organization for Women and author of The Feminine Mystique, put forth the following. The purpose of NOW is to take action to bring women into full participation in the mainstream of American society now, exercising all the privileges and responsibilities thereof in truly equal partnership with men. We believe the time has come to move beyond the abstract argument, discussion, and symposia over the status and special nature of women which has raged in America in recent years. The time has come to confront with concrete action the conditions that now prevent women from enjoying the equality of opportunity and freedom of choice, which is their right as individual Americans and as human beings. Today, on the web page where this is printed, there appears the following disclaimer. The words are those of the 1960s and do not reflect current language or now's current priorities. 32 years later, in July of 1998, delegates of the National Organization for Women offered an updated declaration of sentiments on the occasion of the 150th year of the women's rights movement. It stated, "We bring passion, anger, hope, love, and perseverance to create this vision for the future. We envision a world where women's equality and women's empowerment to determine our own destinies is a reality. We envision a world where women have equal representation in all decision-making structures of our societies. We envision a world where social and economic justice exist, where all people have the food, housing, clothing, healthcare, and education they need. We envision a world where there is recognition and respect for each person's intrinsic worth, as well as the rich diversity of the various groups among us. We envision a world where nonviolence is the established order. We envision a world where patriarchal culture and male dominance no longer oppress us or our earth. We envision a world where women and girls are heard, valued, and respected." Evidently, they did not envision themselves as having arrived or planning to arrive in a world where any of that was a reality. And they apologized for not being more apologetic in 1966. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say to you today, I reflected on my own path to leadership and on the women by whom I have been led. I thought about conversations I have had with iconic feminist artists, activists, and with ordinary women. And something really stood out to me. Despite Ms. Friedan's statement, we continue to spend a great deal of time immersed in the abstract argument. We continue to see ourselves as engaged in a gender war. We read and reread commentaries on the inequality of women in the workplace, debate issues of fertility rights and parenting, rail against the glass ceiling and dissect differences in the standards to which women are held. Recently, I polled 80 women on the subject of women's leadership today, all friends and colleagues, successful in their fields and likely to give me honest perspectives. I was very specific in my question to them. How do you think women's management and leadership styles have changed in business, politics, and the arts since the founding of the National Organization for Women in 1966, and why? Do you know what I got back? Dozens of responses outlining how women are still treated unfairly, still do not make equal wages, still butt up against the glass ceiling, still either deny their sexuality by dressing like men, or are sexualized by social expectation for their personal appearance. Not one respondent offered any thoughts about women in leadership today. I was struck by the fact that they are buried in the old discussion, in old wounds, and in the theory and the fantasy of a future success. Women are still indulging in the kind of thing Betty Friedan warned us against in 1966. We are imprisoned by the intellectual constructs around the argument. The focus is on the pathology rather than the cure. Please understand, we are not debating the fact that women continue to face challenges professionally, nor that women continue to deal with issues of gender inequality. But the question I ask is, what does knowing that intellectually have to do with this moment now? And what can we do to make a difference in it? How does this information diminish our power to change the world? It is past time to change our focus and to stop thinking as women as leaders relative to men, but as leaders, period. I'm going to say that one more time. It is past time to change our focus and to stop thinking as women, as leaders relative to men, but as leaders, period. The way to do that is to ask ourselves, are we good leaders now? What can we do to help our employees now? What can we do to improve our companies now? What are the tools and strengths and possibilities we have now? Regardless of where we are in our careers as individuals, each of us can reflect on the following. Do I listen? Do I give credit where it is due and communicate clearly? Am I consistent so that others know what to expect of me? Am I able to inspire others? Am I being myself? Am I telling my story honestly? Am I service-oriented, accountable to my staff, my customers, and my stakeholders, and my community? Am I adaptable? Do I see opportunity in change and even in setbacks? Do I empower my employees by allowing power to expand and fostering power in them so that they can act on issues of importance? Do I take care of myself? Am I in tune with my intuition? Do I treat others as I would like to be treated? Do I remember to stop and say thank you? These questions are the tools we need to pick up now. Greatness only comes to us if we are the best that we can be, if we are the best version of ourselves, not from focusing on what other people do or do not have. The time has come with gratitude to those who opened the door before us to step through into the present. The only struggle that really matters is the struggle within. If we change ourselves, we change the world. I would like to conclude with Betty Friedan's final paragraph from Now's original statement of purpose. We believe that women will do most to create a new image of women by acting now, and by speaking out in behalf of their own equality, freedom, and human dignity, not in pleas for special privilege nor enmity toward men, who are also victims of the current half-equality between the sexes, but in an active, self-respecting partnership with men. By so doing, women will develop confidence in their own ability to determine actively, in partnership with men, the conditions of their life, their choices, their future, and their society.